there was one night, it was a TV taping on the other side of the island, and Dutch, and you got to remember, in a lot of these towns back then, man, dressing rooms weren't connected. It was bad guys in one, good guys in another, man. That shit didn't start till mid-'90s, really, in a lot of places. So the referee could go back and forth, give you stuff, whatever. So Dutch told us before we went out there, we were heels, and he said, I want to get you guys over. He said, I'm putting you in kind of like their version of job guys. They weren't, stars or whatever. One of them was a big Puerto Rican dude. One of them was a little Japanese guy. Yeah. And Dutch said, I don't want you to give them nothing. He said, I want you to get over. Okay, so if you were to tell me that today or even, 10 years ago, I would know exactly what that meant. Then I kind of knew what it meant. Yeah. So we go out there, and I think me and the big guy locked up first, and we're kind of going back and forth a little bit. I mean, I'm not doing a ton of big stuff to him, but I'm not letting him do anything. But then he starts taking stuff and doing this, and not like stretching me and not shooting, none of that. It was just I was giving him too much. And then we got the little Japanese guy in there and whatnot, and finished the match, finished it strong. So we get back from the ring, and Dutch is pissed. What the fuck? He said, I told you not to give him a fucking thing. He said, how do you want me to get you over if you're sitting out here selling to these guys? That ain't shit. And I'm like, fuck, man. I thought, if you wanted to have beat someone, I was always kind of taught that too. If you don't give them nothing, who the hell did you beat? But anyway.
Yeah, who did you beat? Right.
So then I think like as a rib, he booked us the very next TV against the same two guys, and I knew that almost for the whole week coming up. So I'm like, man, and this dude, he was like a security guard sort of deal or something on the side or something, but he was a big dude, especially I wasn't that big back then. So the boys are ribbing me all week long. Oh, you got to wrestle. I think his name was Armadito. You got to wrestle Armadito again. He's going to stretch your ass. He's going to stretch your ass. So here I am again at, early 20s or 20. I don't even think I could drink in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I was like 20 still. And so I'm thinking, I am not getting my ass kicked here in Puerto Rico. It's not going to happen. So can I straight up whoop him? I'm not sure. So there was this bar that hung over the ocean right down from where we lived, and it's called the Blue Dolphin. And I went down there that night, and I sat out there, and the matches didn't start till 9. So, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'm going down to the Blue Dolphin, sitting there contemplating on, okay, how's this going to go tonight? Having a few drinks. And I come up with the idea of I'm going to put Icy Hot on my fingers. I'm going to stick in his fucking eyes. I'm going to whoop shit out of him.
Yeah.
So I put it on there like you would on your toothpaste. Put a Icy Hot. And I dug that shit. And I told him, first of all, I told him to take my arm. And when he did, I took my right hand, I dug that shit in his eyes, and I just started fucking knucking his ass. We're talking cuts on his face, and, just hitting him. And so he gets out of the ring. Match is over. Referee throws this thing out. None of this, this is a straight up shoot. And the people knew it because they were going crazy. Me and Jamie were kind of hyped, and, this dude rolls out of the ring. He's bleeding. So he goes back to the back. Me and Jamie go back to the back. It's like pandemonium sort of. And I'll never forget, we all of a sudden, a couple of the Puerto Rican baby or heels that was in our dressing room were not happy with me. Amigo, you cheated. And so I'm thinking, okay, now they going to jump on me now? So then we look out into the arena, and there's, I swear to God, probably about 15 to 20 cops with those fucking helmets and those clear shields. Yeah. And we're thinking, what the fuck, man? This rent-a-cop guy's got some friends, or because he's Puerto Rican and we're American, and all the stories, everything was just rushing through your head at that point. Right. Jamie goes and hides in the bathroom and pulls his feet up on the stall. It's a funny thing, but I could know where he was coming from. I mean, he pulled his feet up so you couldn't see his feet. He's going, right. I ain't going because we think they're there for us. Well, what had really happened was this dude goes back to the dressing room on his side, and he pulls out a gun, and he says to Victor, the promoter, Joe Vega, he says, I killed the Wolfie. So Victor called the cops to protect me and Jamie from getting shot.
Right.
So the police escort us to our car. I think we had a driver. To our car, takes us back to our hotel room.
Yeah.
We went to bed, and the very next morning, and I could feel this and see it like a scene out of a movie, man. It was early. I got to that payphone. It was right outside the hotel, and it was pouring down rain. And I'm standing in the rain, and I called Dutch. And I said, man, what should I do? He said, Wolfie, I don't got your back on this. And he said, if you wouldn't icy hot him, I'd have your back. You know, just been a shoot, but you put icy hot in a man's eyes. And I said, all right.
Right.
I hung up the phone, took my ass to the airport, and flew home. And everybody that's been down there, I've heard it from Savio Vega, I've heard it from Flash Flanagan, I've heard it from Bushwhacker, who was always a booker down there. Apparently, these guys, and I guess Jamie was still there at the same time. He didn't leave when I left.
Right.
But they came to the hotel, him and his dad, because he went home and his dad, you know, Hispanic people, the machismo type thing, all that. They came looking for me. His daddy said, you let this little motherfucker do that to you? I don't know if that was the exact words, but that was the basic reasoning behind coming looking for me.
Sure.
And so I can't say whether they're going to just beat me up, whether they will kidnap me, whether they will kill me. I don't know, but I'm glad I left and I never went back. You've told me that you know the story or whatever where I icy hotted the guy, man. What is your part of that story? What happened, man? I mean, I'll tell you my side, but you tell me what you heard there.
Yeah, let me finish this part here. I'm in Japan. I was in Japan.
Okay.
I was in Japan. When I arrived, I know all the guys that was there, and I asked for you guys. I said, oh, you don't know? I said, I know what. You know what happened? I said, no. These son of a bitches, they put, something happened in the ring with Armandito Salgado, and he got mad. So they have a match with him, and one of them have Ben Gay in his fingers, and when they look up, he just grabbed him by the neck and put the Ben Gay in his eyes, and with the cup, they beat the fuck out of him. They fuck him up. They jumped in the car and left. I started laughing my ass. I said, what the fuck? What a motherfucker.
Let me ask you this. Do you know that guy? Do you even know him?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I don't need to.
All right. Well, let me tell you on my side. From what happened, because I really don't think me and you ever really talked about this.
No, we never talk about that.
No. Okay. So I mean, when I come down to Puerto Rico, I'm like 18 or 19, and this is like 94. You know, Brody. What year was that where Brody got killed? Like 89,
88.
Yeah. Okay. So young guys going down there, we're hearing that. Okay, American guys don't get in trouble, don't do this, don't do that. So anyway, Dutch books me and Jamie against that Armadito Santiago and another little Japanese guy. And Dutch says to us, and this is, back in the day when there was one dressing room for the heels and one dressing room for the baby faces. And he says, go out there. He said, I need you guys to get over. Don't give them shit. So at 18, 19 years old, I kind of didn't know what that meant. Today, I really know what that means. But so I go out there, and this dude, he's Armadito. You know what? Was he about, 6'2", probably? 230, maybe. Like that. He was way bigger than I was at that point.
I'm proud Puerto Rican.
Yes, very, very, very. So I go out there, and man, I don't give him a lot of shit. I really don't, but I gave him a little more than Dutch wanted me to. So I come back from the ring. We beat him, blah, blah, blah. I come back from the ring, and Dutch goes, God damn it, I told you not to give him shit, blah, 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 blah. So then for the whole next week, I get ribbed by everybody. Oh, Armadito shot on you. Oh, he did this. He did that.
Fuck.
So, yeah. I'm staying. You remember? I know you do. The hotel that they used to put all the Americans at, like
Dahlia,
right?
Dahlia.
The Dahlia. Hell yeah, the Dahlia. Right down the street, and there was a bar, the Blue Dolphin, that hung over the ocean right there.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm right guy again. They keep telling me, oh, he's going to beat you up. He's going to beat you up. And I'm thinking, man, I ain't getting beat up. I'm 19 years old. I'm not getting beat up. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So I come up with this idea. I'm going to put Icy Hot in his fucking eyes, and I'm going to fucking punch. And so the thing is that we went to the ring. He grabbed my arm. I put the Icy Hot in his eyes, and then I just started knucking him. And he rolled. Yeah, I really did. And then he rolled out of the ring. Well, here's the part that you may not know, and the thing is, he rolled out of the ring. He was all bloodied and beat up. He went back to the dressing room, and he pulled out a gun. Well, me and Jamie didn't know that because it was two separate dressing rooms, right? All of a sudden, we look around, and no shit, Savio, there was about, I don't know, probably 10 cops that showed up with, like, riot squad gear on, with, like, shields and all this shit. And we're thinking, holy fuck, man, they're fixing to fuck us up, you know? But the thing was, he pulled out the gun, and they were actually there to protect us, and they took us to our hotel room the next morning, and I'll never forget this. And what made me start on that was that I walked out from the what'd you call the hotel? What's the hotel?
Dahlia.
Yeah, Dahlia. I walked out from the Dahlia on that little side street right there, and I got on the phone, and I called Dutch, and I said, hey, Dutch, man, what should I do? And he said, Wolfie, I ain't got your back, man. He said, you put Icy Hot in his eyes. I said, all right, man, I'll see you. Boom. And I took a taxi to the airport, and I flew home. And you know, I'm sure you can attest to this. Everybody else has that guy came to the hotel room after I was gone, and they were gonna, I don't know, him and his dad were gonna do something to me.
The dad, he come with the dad. He was with his dad all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's crazy, because what if I'd have been
how close
they had done to me?
Yeah, how close was it, Savio? How close was Wolfie to really getting bad hurt?
Well, like I said to you, I was in Japan by that time.
Right.
So when I arrived, the only thing the story that I hear was that he put Bengay on his eyes and beat the hell out of him, and after that they left. You know, so when I arrived, they already gone. You know,
yeah, right.
And I was like no, you kidding me? You know, he fucking put Icy Hot and beat the hell out of him. I mean, fuck him up. I said, holy shit. I said, why? And I hear because Armandito don't want to sell or something like that. You know, I said, well, I don't know. But, man, I remember that story.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Everybody, it's funny, all the American guys that come back from Puerto Rico tell that story. They're like, Wolfie, you're ridiculous. And then what's funny is that Luke especially would call me every, I don't know, like once a year. Hey, man, come on back, man. It's okay. I'm like, fuck you. I ain't coming back.
You're not going to get me there, motherfucker.
Hell no.
Wow.
I don't even want to come on vacation.
Armandito's living in Florida somewhere, in Orlando, I don't know, Tampa.
Oh,
he's getting closer.
I lived there a year ago. He was way closer to me than he was in Puerto Rico. That's funny,
Coming up on you, Wolfie. He's getting closer.
I got to get into this one, though, because here's the thing. We've heard Wolfie's side. We've talked to Savio. We've talked to a few different guys, and Wolfie has talked about the Armandito story. Now, what I want to hear from you, Jamie, is the middle time. So basically, Wolfie dips, right? And then
hell, he leaves me fucking for the wolves, man. He leaves me for dead.
Yeah, and you're there. And what happens at that point? Tell us about that.
At that point, I say to Mike Anthony, what the fuck, man? He goes, bro, man, has he lost his mind? Fucking, they kill people here. I'm like, I know. And the next morning, about 6 o'clock, they some beating on my fucking hotel door, bro. And I open up the door, and they're standing there, and they say, we come to kill the Wolfie. That's his exact words to me was, I come to kill the Wolfie. And I said, look, bro, Wolfie's gone, man. He's fucking vamonos, bro, back to fucking America. And he's like, I asked amigo, he said, you fight with honor. He said, you protect your partner. But he put something in my eye. And I said, bro, I don't know nothing about none of that, dog. I just know that he ain't here. And they came in. They went through all the fucking rooms. And they could see it was just me. And they said, nothing else. They just fucking left and shut the door. And I said, oh, my God. But I tell you, the scariest moment of that whole thing was the night before when that fucking riot team came in. I was like, oh, no, I am not going to fucking jail and on this fucking island. Right, so me and Wolfie run through the back and try to climb out the back window and shit. And they're like, nah, bro, we're here. Well, no, let me go. We're here to protect you. I'm like, yeah, y'all protected old Brody too, didn't you?
Right, exactly.
Protecting me like that. And that was the scariest part. Me and Wolfie's in the ring again for the second show, and then motherfuckers come in that riot gear and they stand along the by the dressing room door, and I'm like, oh no, man, this is not going to end well. But I ain't going to prison on this island. It ain't happening.
That's my memory. Is no, I don't want to say the biggest memory, but the funniest part of it, if there is a funny part, is that
it's funny like hell now because we're back here.
The dressing room and we see we go into the dressing room and you're trying to get out the back window like you said, and it's like those school windows, the ones that bend inward, and there's no way you can get out of them or whatever.
Oh, there's no way to get out. I'm trying to break the fucking thing off, man. You're trying to bust it or something. It's one of them ones you crank turn or something.
Right.
Then you do the serial killer hide where the serial killer's after you, and you go in the stall, pull your feet up
behind the toilet. Yeah, under the toilet. The motherfucker.
Jason is fixing to kick the door in and kill you.
Oh my God.
Hey, brother, and listen, let me tell you, the very next show, right? Me and Mike Anthony go to the next show, and it's just me working with Mike now because his partner's left and my partner's obviously gone now. And that fucking invader, he's gonna call me and Mike. He just let me go. Hey, can I talk to you, man? I said, Mike, man, I'm not going. He's like, yeah, man, come on. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going to talk to this dude like that. And so we walk in the office. I said, you going to this? So me and Mike go in the office. And look, he starts crying and shit and telling me about, with Frank and his son being killed and all. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, where are we going with this shit, man?
Right.
It was crazy, man. I was like, oh, no. And then we sat and drank drinks. Then he fucking told us stories about it, and he started crying. I was like, oh my God, what is fixing to happen here? This fucking island, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? And nobody cares. This dude's the fucking godfather. I'm sitting in fucking the supreme being's fucking room, and I'm like, oh, this is not a good thing. He's like, your partner, he's crazy, man. People die here. And then I'm like, yeah, I know, brother. I heard the story before. I mean, what do you say to this fucking guy? And he's crying on me and shit. And I was like, yeah, he's just crazy, man. I don't know, man. I said the motherfucker should have sold. I guess I don't know what the right answer is here, man.
Fucking should have sold, by God.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then Dutch for a rib 2 times puts on the TV, Wolfie D returns. But single match, and he's like, I just did that just for fun. I'm like, fuck you, man. The police report's gonna show up and, hey, look, it says JC Ice on these shorts, motherfucker. Yeah, but I was like, oh no.
And
but I went back one more time.
This has been a James Rock Street production.